Here in this video, we will be going over all of your Tesla stock news as well as what's going on in the broader markets. And what you're actually seeing today is very positive for Tesla stock. Tesla stock at the time of recording this video is up 0.8%. At one point today, Tesla stock was up almost 2%. But you're actually seeing 10-year treasury yields up about 4.5 basis points. What we have been used to so far in 2024 is if 10-year treasury yields are rising, the Russell 2000, your interest rate sensitive names, tend to have pretty bad days. But today is not one of those days. Today you're actually seeing yields going higher, the cost of capital becoming more expensive, and interest rate sensitive names like Tesla doing well. That actually shows the markets could be getting healthier here. And even potentially we could get a broadening out of our markets. But I'll tell you one stock that is definitely broadened out here in the last 24 hours. ARM is up 56% today. See, in a strange way, once the AI hopium or bubble, if you will, dies down here in the near term, you could see a broadening out of the markets at a rapid pace. It seems like everyone and their mother has FOMO over AI right now. The problem is when a 10-year treasury pays you over 4% and Tesla stock has been down for 3 years in a row, it doesn't look like that's where you really want to put your money. In other words, hedge funds and institutions, they get paid by getting more money from their clients. It's hard to recommend Tesla when Nvidia has went from $100 to $700. So you almost have to see this FOMO-like behavior in AI stocks when they are performing so well because hedge funds and institutions want to keep their clients. Nvidia actually tends to rally into their earnings and then sell off after the days and weeks following. The first earnings Nvidia really shocked the world with AI results. Nvidia actually ended up falling about 10%, 11% or so over the next about a week and a half after earnings. 2 earnings ago, Nvidia rallied about 10%, gave almost all of that back by the end of the day, and over the next month, Nvidia proceeded to fall about 17.5%. Last earnings, Nvidia was actually red by about 2.5% the day following earnings, and then proceeded to fall about 11% over the next 2.5 weeks. So if you are a Tesla stock bull and you're waiting to see when Tesla can start to do better, even potentially a broadening out of our markets, look no further than Nvidia earnings as that catalyst, maybe. I mean, Nvidia is only up about 0.2% today. At some point of the day has been negative, and you are seeing the markets broadening out today. Now, in my opinion, if you want telltale proof that this is all about Nvidia and the markets will broaden out when Nvidia does fall, take a look at February 6th. Nvidia stock at one point was down 4%, but still ended the day down 1.6%. Lo and behold, that same day, Tesla stock was up 2.23%. It's not that people don't like Tesla anymore. Now, some people don't. It's that Nvidia continues to go higher. You have to almost own Nvidia if you're a hedge fund or institution. We will talk about this more in the next video coming out tonight at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, let's get into all of your Tesla stock specific news today. The Cybertruck just got its first big software update since delivery started. Improved ride and handling, quote, getting more consistent response on different road surfaces and greater comfort on rough, winding pavement in sport mode or when custom ride and handling is set to focused. Also, expect reduced pitch and body roll in off-road mode. More efficient charging, quote, your vehicle now adjusts to the power level of each DC charging station. So battery preconditioning when you're navigating to a charger and then charging can be more efficient. As you know, Tesla has recently ramped up their advertising efforts, and now they're running this ad on X that says the world's best-selling SUV. The Model Y starts at $36,490 after the $7,500 federal tax credit for eligible buyers. And take a look at that. A federal judge on Wednesday dismissed a lawsuit accusing Apple of overpaying CEO Tim Cook by tens of millions of dollars. The judge said Apple described its pay methods in detailed compensation tables in its 2023 proxy statement, quote, precisely. I mean, I think it was pretty clear with Tesla as well and Elon's comp package, which was just voided. Tesla gets to this market cap with this level of profitability, with this many deliveries, or exactly what was in there. I'm not sure. I know market cap and profitability, there were certain things that Elon needed to achieve. Either way, it really just shows you the potentially corruptness that is even in the judicial system. Here is a new update on the Cybertruck, which is currently at the Chicago Auto Show with over 300,000 people that are expected to attend. Here are some photos. There's also a matte black Cybertruck that is there as well. GM has appointed a former Tesla executive as the VP of the battery unit. I guess if you can't beat them, you might as well hire their former employees. Tesla has now posted another 37 new jobs for Dojo. Here are some of the jobs: engineering technician, RTL engineer, data center technician, senior design verification engineer, 3 of those for Palo Alto and for Austin, IC package layout designer, hardware engineer, software engineer, senior technical program manager, supplier industrialization engineer, 2 of those in Palo Alto, design for test design verification engineer, staff SOC verification and validation engineer, Sir Silicon System Development and Validation Engineer. Lots of jobs that I think half of us don't even understand what they're for, but nonetheless, a lot of new jobs for Dojo. Lamborghini's brand's boss just said Lamborghini's EVs will have over 1,300 horsepower but still offer emotional driving thrills. Tesla Europe and the Middle East says we're expanding the supercharger network in Iceland by 20 sites in collaboration with N1, taking the total supercharger locations to 29 with 200 plus stalls over the next few years. Or in other news, road trips go brrr. Cybertruck Model 3 and Model Y clear and colored paint films are now available at Tesla's Santa Clara and Costa Mesa, South LA locations. In the new Tesla update 2024 2.3, Tesla is rolling out support for ultra wideband, a wireless protocol that will drastically improve how Tesla's phone keys work. Tesla has shifted its supply strategy for Canada and is again shipping Model 3s into the country from China. Tesla China registered 39,891 vehicles in domestic retail demand in January. They exported 31,556. For the Model Y, 41,873 year over year. That is up 2.4%. And for the Model 3, that was at 29,574, up 17.6% year over year. So comparing 2023's numbers to 2024 so far, it looks like China is really starting off on a strong note. Tesla Korea announced that it will launch an FSD or lifetime unlimited supercharger relocation promotion for the Model S and X vehicles. New cars for the Model S and X will need to be delivered within Q1. Tesla's China's EAP 30-day free evaluation board has been delivered to consumers. Tesla's owners are left with a number of reviews, and they like the traffic light recognition feature the most recently added. Tesla's global inventory numbers for the Model Y staying about the same at 7,200. Model X inventories increasing a little bit to about 1,900. Model 3 and Model S inventory numbers staying at about 1,000 apiece. Very low, as you can see from this chart. I would imagine Model S, specifically Model 3, is seeing a lot of demand right now. You can also see a sharp uptick in search trend activity across the Tesla lineup. The Model X going from 9 to 12 on Google Trends. The Cybertruck going from 20 to 30. The Model Y going from 34 to 42 and the Model 3 going from 36 to 38. This is positive across the board for Tesla. And Tesla is now still running over 1,000 ads via Google. I would really love to see Tesla branch out more into television ads. I think that is the best demographic that needs to learn about Tesla. Let me know what you think down below in the comment section. We do have a new AI investor sentiment survey that is out today and widely looks the same. Your bullish investors were 49.1% last week. Now this week they are 49.0%. Neutral investors went from 26.4% to 28.4%, and bearish investors went from 24.5% to 22.6%. Option activity today for Tesla with hedge funds and institutions. You have seen 486 orders totaling about $119 million with a positive order value of 50%. Volume today is 55.1% to the call side and 44.9% to the put side. It also looks like you are seeing a slight uptick in shorting activity in Tesla stock today, judging off of the cost to borrow fees. The cost to borrow max now at about 2.32%. Yesterday it was less than 1%. So the higher the cost to borrow fees, the more shorting activity you're likely seeing. Over here on stock twits, it looks like the bullish stock twitters in Tesla stock are back at least a little bit today. You went from 25 yesterday, which was categorized as bearish, to 72 today, which is categorized as bullish. Message volume is down about 10 points from 48 to 38. That is categorized as low. And the participation ratio has been staying the same at about 40. Today it's down ticking a little bit to 39. The percent of stocks above their 50-day moving average is now at 50%. You are up about 4% today. About 2% of stocks broke above their 50-day moving average. This is still pretty alarming because you went from 86% to 50%. You've fallen dramatically, about a 50% retracement from the lows you were sitting October and November. After that 10% correction in the S&P, when about 20% of stocks were above their 50-day moving average. So you have seen about a 50% retracement here. The S&P 500 has not budged at all. It's basically been going straight up ever since November. Now, in specifically Tesla stock, I believe this stock has bottomed around 180. Ever since you gapped down on earnings, Tesla hit a low at about 108, almost perfectly. $180.06 or so is the ultimate low that you did hit here. You can see that right here on the screen. The low was $180.06 per share. Ever since then, you have remained above $180 per share to close the day. Intraday, 2 days, you have fallen to about 177 here on February 6th before you did see that big reversal. Again, we'll talk about it in the next video, but that was really down to Nvidia and capital able to move around in our markets. That you did not want to miss the next video because we have what could be the blueprint for Tesla stock and the broader markets. But nonetheless, on February 5th, Tesla stock also hit a low of $176 or $175, 1 cent per share, bounced instantly once you got into the 170s. Now, if the markets were to get bad and stocks were to collapse and we go through a correction because who knows what happens, then I would expect you would find a lot of support around 170 in that specific scenario. But that does not look likely to me. Betting on that right now would seem like a foolish bet overall. Now, could we come down a little bit? Of course. Are we going to go through a crash that's going to crash Tesla stock even more? Probably not. You could make the argument as well, Tesla being the worst performer in the S&P 500 so far in 2024 really could put Tesla in a very good situation. If we do get further downside in our markets, maybe Tesla stock will not fall as much as the broader markets would. Now, if you take a look at the Bollinger Bands, this middle line here. Now, what the Bollinger Bands are is basically standard deviations away from historical price action. So at the lower end band, you're pretty dang oversold, right? Typically, stocks tend to bounce at the lower end band. At the higher end band, stocks tend to find some resistance. Now, stocks tend to revert back to the middle line over time. Now, Tesla stock has not been there ever since January 2nd. But from what I can see right now, what the Bollinger Bands are saying is Tesla more than likely rallies to about $200 per share over the next couple of weeks here, at least, if not higher than that. Now, I would say Tesla stock could easily rally to about 205 or 210. 210 specifically is the level I am targeting. That would completely fill the gap that you've seen when you gap down on earnings. In this market, all gaps must be filled. Now, the RSI was historically oversold for Tesla as well, hitting a low of about 17, which was the only other time you've been this oversold was when Elon was selling stock to fund the purchase of Twitter, and you actually hit oversold about 16 on the RSI. Now, you are at 34.53 on the RSI. Typically, when you get oversold in the RSI, buying Tesla stock as a just trading routine has worked out very well in the past. I don't think that's not going to work out this time around, but I don't think Tesla's going to go through a 30 or 40% rally unless they change something, and I'm not willing to bet Tesla's going to make a drastic change here in the near term. Is it possible? Of course. Am I going to bet on that? Of course not. Now, if you take a look at the MACD as well, or, well, let's stay with the RSI for a second. The RSI went positive on February 6th, the day Tesla stock hit the low of about $177 and rallied to close the day at 185. You were up 2.2%. Fantastic day for Tesla. The RSI went positive. The MACD did not go positive on February 6th. The MACD actually just went positive today. So now that the MACD is in positive territory, for a lot of your conservative traders out there that want to wait for confirmation of a U-turn or change in trend, you know, Tesla's been negative for so long. A lot of people have been waiting for the RSI to go positive or break positive. You don't want to wait too long because then you're going to, you know, miss out on the run. You want to wait till the RSI goes positive and the MACD curls upwards and also goes positive. When those two things happen, and you got confirmation from the Bollinger Bands, we could at least be looking at a $10 move from here just to get back to where Tesla historically should be. I think that looks pretty good from a trading perspective. So I do think Nvidia earnings will be important. I think what happens in the markets will be important. CPI, jobs reports, initial jobless claims, Fed speakers, all of that. But I think minus any disaster, Tesla stock is going higher from here. I'm targeting around 210. Could it overshoot that a little bit? Sure. Could it hit 220? Sure. Could it undershoot that and hit 205? That's a possibility as well. But I do think we have some room to run here. Let me know what you think down below in the comment section. Hit the like button as well as subscribe to the channel. If you guys want to come trade with us, check out that link down below in the description of this video. Also, if you guys want to go follow the X account, it's Michael Tyler over there. We talk a lot of Tesla over there, and we do share some hedge fund, institutional investor opinions, discuss things like that as well. A lot of the information that we talk about here in these videos gets posted over there first. So check it out. It's free 99. It's Michael Tyler on X. Very easy to find. You guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.